if you were a super sophisticated creature from another planet and you needed some particular materials from our planet, and the Anunnaki story is all about gold.
Yes,
they needed gold.
Fixing up the...
Yeah. The idea was that they were going to, and this is all from Zecharia Sitchin's work, right? Mm-hmm. And the idea was that they were going to suspend gold particles in their atmosphere in order to protect their environment.
Because they had abused.
Yeah. They had abused it. And I think there was also some speculation about volcanic eruptions, that volcanic eruptions had probably ruined their atmosphere as well. But they had the ability to do something about it. And the way to do something about it is to mine gold. And that they took us and they created us
from the
hominids. The reason why that's so interesting is because gold is fucking useless 10,000 years ago. Why do you need gold? No one needs gold. If you're surviving, if you're a hunter-gatherer, gold means jack shit to you. Why is it the number one method of currency throughout all human beings, all over the world?
Well, remember, they abandoned. Remember, for a long time, like if you're thinking about Italians, they talk about it's salt. The salt.
Yeah,
it was salt.
Salt for
salt
food, yeah.
was what we used for currency in exchange for the gold.
Right.
So where did the gold come? Why did we have an appetite?
Right.
And then they showed him a massive golden orb, and they said that it's on its way towards us, and that it's returning, as big as the sun. And to this day, we still don't understand what it is, which is why Dad rarely ever talks about it, but I want to talk about it. They showed him this massive golden orb, and they said that it's on its way towards us, and that it's returning. And they didn't really say what it was. I suspect that it's, I don't know, maybe some high order consciousness that's coming, that's maybe like, responsible for a lot of the shifts we're experiencing now. I don't know. Maybe it's God. I don't know. I've heard of crazier things, but.
So that came from Ryan Bledsoe, Chris Bledsoe's son. And although he might be true about the golden orb coming soon and bringing Jesus, because Jesus is standing on it in the book of Revelations, the painting, the golden orb. I suspect that the Anunnaki used the human beings to mine gold for them to build this object, this vessel made out of gold to sustain their life. But the Anunnaki were not what Zecharia Sitchin said, these large beings. They were actually tiny beings. The Nazca alien mummies, I suspect, are the Anunnaki, also Aten, the one true God. And I'm pretty sure they are God, and they're bringing Jesus. And we'll find out soon enough, after the fake alien invasion. But Zecharia Sitchin was a Satan worshiper, and he was seen at these satanic parties, and people wanted nothing to do with him, because he was going on and on about the aliens. But it's reported that he had said that he wanted to screw over humanity and, give bad information. And after everything that's come out about the Satan worshipers and all the evidence that I've looked through, it's clear to me that, something's not right with Zecharia Sitchin.
What do you remember about Zecharia Sitchin?
Zecharia Sitchin was someone in the rituals attending the rituals who was not a major player in as far as the rituals went, but was someone that others present did not make remarks at, or were very careful as to what they said around him. And he was talking about, he would be talking about doing away with people, persons that were in his way or were not were putting out information that he didn't feel that he wanted put out. He is very much a disinformer, and that is his job, to disinform about what is going on with the Illuminati and with the reptilians.
He actually warned me off from investigating the reptilians, interestingly. You say that you come from a certain bloodline, and there is this obsession with bloodlines that this Brotherhood Illuminati have. Why is that? Because what first started coming out was about the Aryans, and the purity of the blood. And what it's all about is that the blood and the menstrual blood contains something that is important for the propagation of this race that is controlling things on this planet. And these people that are in the organization that the Council of 13 is under, and they have something called the Grand Druid Council, or the Octagon, they're called the Illuminati. And the Illuminati are actually run by these 13 bloodlines, which are all of the royal families in Europe and in England. And they need the blood because they are, in fact, not human. They take human shape. They are reptilians. And they need the blood. The blood helps them maintain their reptilian shape, and it helps them maintain their sanity, and it helps them to live in this world because they are not from this world. Does that relate to what the Nazis call virile power and what the Hindus call the serpent power in the blood?
Yes, the blood has something. It has something in it. It has secretions from the pituitary gland and from the pineal gland, and it has a very strong drug in it that they also, I mean, this is the one that keeps them from going crazy, and it's like heroin or like endorphins, and it's much stronger. But what they need is, for it to be secreted in the blood, is they need terrorization of their victims before they are killed for their blood, or if a young woman is beginning to menstruate, they need the menstrual blood, and they have to terrorize them to get this to come out in the blood and be secreted in the blood.
Is this the what other people have told me about, that at the point of great terror, like the point of sacrifice, there's an adrenaline that enters the bloodstream? Is this what they're looking for?
Yes, that and this other element comes and secretes out through the blood. This all comes out through the blood at that time, and it's at that point they are actually staring into the eyes of the head of at some of these rituals, or at a reptilian. They are staring into the eyes of this person, and they're held. It's a hypnotic gaze these reptilians have, and it holds the victim in an absolute trance, in a trance of terror, and then they are killed at that moment as they are staring into their eyes. And not only do they can't hold their shape when this happens. The human shape they cannot hold. They go back into reptilian shape as this is happening, because it's like an animalistic type of excitement of the kill, and they oftentimes they will just rip into the victim and eviscerate them and start eating the flesh of this person too, and the fat from the intestinal area is highly valued, as they use it on their skin. And they drink the blood, and the blood is highly sought after, and it goes according also to rank within these creatures, as to who gets what when. And their sacrifices have increased in the last, it started increasing in the early 80s. The amount that they were doing is increased, and they use a lot of druidic holidays to do this, but they have other days too. They've mixed all of these satanic and what are called satanic holidays and druidic holidays, and in order to have these rituals, which ritual seems to be important to them, but they also use it in order to drink this blood. They seem to need more.